pandemic is as life-affirming as it is life-changing. And now, the closing ceremony of the Tokyo 2020 Paralympic Games.
So all the way through this Paralympic Games, we've been hearing stories. The stories of our Paralympians, and we're now going to see the Paralympic effect. So that's our young composer, Sasuke. Started writing music when he was 5 years old. And this is Lisa 13. She's one of the guitarists in the Bad Baby Bomb girl band. And she has to use a prosthetic pick device to play the guitar that her dad made for her when she was little.
Incredible performances from, amongst others, Mori Hitoshi, the breakdancer, who's also a pharmacist by day, and of course Aichi Ono, who holds the world record for the most hands-free headspin rotations in a single minute, over 140.
What? That's a lot. What an opening.
Just visually spectacular.
And that's how the Paralympic effect gets spread out around the world.
Paralympic friends, please welcome His Imperial Highness Crown Prince Akishino, accompanied by the President of the International Paralympic Committee, Andrew Parsons.
秋篠宮皇嗣殿下がご臨席になります。国際パラリンピック委員会アンドリュー・パーソンズ会長の案内によりご入場されます。
The IPC President, Mr. Andrew Parsons. On the left of your screen, on the right, His Imperial Highness Crown Prince Akishino, the second son of their Majesties.
Ladies and gentlemen, the national flag of Japan.
日本国旗の入場です。
The Japanese national flag carried onto the field by a rather diverse group of flag bearers.
Paralympic champion, athletics,
陸上金メダリスト
Sato Tomoki.
佐藤智樹さん。
Including Sato Tomoki, a Paralympic champion in athletics.
Olympic champion, fencing,
フェンシングオリンピック金メダリスト
Minobe Kazuyasu.
見延和康さん。
Paralympic medalist, swimming,
水泳メダリスト
Yamada Miyuki.
山田美幸さん。
Yamada Miyuki is just 14 years old.
Nurse,
看護師
Already
Yamamoto Keiko.
Japan's youngest ever Paralympic medalist. Yamamoto Keiko is a nurse,
陸上
supporting nurses on the front line.
岩切元樹さん。
Swimming,
水泳
Koike Sakura.
小池さくらさん。
She broke her own Japanese record in the 400-meter freestyle S7 event at Tokyo 2020. 3 silver medals and a bronze at the 2018 Asian Para Games. Minobu Kazuyasu, a fencer who became the first Japanese world champion among those carrying the flag. Iwakiri Motoki competed at the Asian Youth Para Games and the World Para-Athletics Junior Championships. A diverse group of flag bearers. But from the organisers, signalling their gratitude to the healthcare professionals who've supported all of us in our day-to-day lives during the global health crisis. Onto the protocol stage, representatives of the self-defense forces. You will raise the national flag.
Please stand for the national anthem of
And
Japan.
now for the national
The
anthem
flag
of
will be raised by a
Japan.
representative of the Japan Self-Defense Forces.
日本国歌の演奏です。可能な方はご起立ください。日本国旗の掲揚は自衛隊の代表により行われます。
Beautifully sung there by Kodomo ni Shiro Chorus, the National Children's Castle Chorus.
You're such an inspiration. So brave. I'm not the You are superheroes.
Really?
Yeah, we're superheroes, all right.
We're getting the kids out the door on time. We push strollers.
Io sono il passeggino.
Grateful.
There's nothing special about us.
We have more games.
Kidnaps us.
Watch reality TV.
Pretend for watching reality TV.
You got some do race.
Get sunburn on holiday.
We're politicians and monsters. Pension advisors.
We get married.
We're laugh at ourselves too.
We don't like running.
And our Jogos.
We pray 5 times a day. And no, I'm not praying for a cure. I'm praying for a new handbag.
We swipe right. We go backstage.
I'm the Argentina.
So are the pedestals or not?
I'm the pity tolerating.
We're not special. That's not what it's like.
Non è la nostra realtà.
And only when you see us.
Non da feel ordinary.
Wonderfully human. Only then.
And we all break down these barriers.
Give us a ball.
That's 1 billion people.
Well, that's the new campaign, the biggest ever human rights movement, hopefully representing the world's 1.2 billion persons with disabilities, 15% of the world's population, hence the We the 15
Ladies
logo.
and gentlemen, the flags of the participating national Paralympic committees of the Tokyo 2020 Paralympic Games.
東京2020パラリンピック参加選手団の旗の入場です。
Well, with many of the athletes finding themselves already sitting in the venue as they continue to mingle, observing social distance where practical. We are set to observe the entrance of the athletes with their national flags at this closing ceremony of the Paralympic Games, and it will be the refugee Paralympic team carrying the flag of the Agitos, making their way out. Anas Al Khalifa, a para-canoeist, is the man who carries the flag. He's been competing for under 2 years, but is one of the 6 athletes who represented the refugee Paralympic team at Tokyo 2020. Immediately behind him is Iceland's swimmer Mar Gunnarsson, 2-time finalist at these Paralympic Games.
And we have the tricolour of Ireland, carried by Katie George Dunleavy. Silver, gold, gold in the cycling, in the tandem cycling.
Flag of Azerbaijan is there as well, and it is quite remarkable that Azerbaijan finished with 14 gold medals and inside the top 10 of the most successful nations at the Paralympic Games. The dignitaries watch on as the athletes make their way into this venue. A glorious venue it is, but the flag of Azerbaijan being waved by Lamia Valieva, who won a gold and a silver in the women's track events.
And the flag of Afghanistan, with representatives at the beginning of the Games. We weren't sure they were going to make it here, Afghanistan.
2 made the Games. Flag is on display in the venue. So rather than have an athletes delegation that follows on behind the flag at the closing ceremony, it's slightly different to the opening ceremony where the flag is brought in. The flag of Algeria there, the largest nation in Africa, Abdelatif Baka, who carries the flag. Another of the athletes made the final of the men's 1,500 meter T13. And here are moments to savor for some of the athletes. A little cultural exploration.
I think everybody's going to be involved in the next part of this closing ceremony. The athletes in the stadium are going to become temporary residents of Tokyo for one night.
As the flags continue to make their way into the venue, the flag of Aruba, Elliot Lundström, the man who carries the flag as athletes sign, stick, post, add a little something of their culture, leave it behind for those in Tokyo. Of a reminder of what is a most cosmopolitan and impressive games.
Para-taekwondo, Lundström competing in that in the competition, a brand new sport at the Paralympic Games this time round, along with para-badminton.
Wonderful additions to the sporting codes on offer.
Feels like they've always been here. And why have I not watched more of it before? Because I've been glued to it. Both of them.
Volunteer carrying the flag of Yemen. Italy have had another thoroughly successful time at the Paralympic Games. And while they've been so incredibly successful in the pool as well, with the biggest medal haul, there is one of the Italian athletes, Matteo Parenzan, who is a table tennis player.
That's David Smith of Great Britain, followed by Costa Rica. We're going in the order of the Japanese alphabet with the flags.
Yeah, David Smith defended his Rio boccia title. He's among the most successful of all time now.
He is the first athlete to successfully defend the BC1 boccia class. And I think also boccia's won over, a bit like goalball, which was the sport that I have a little passion for, winning a whole new audience this time at Tokyo 2020. A really absolutely fascinating sport, boccia. It's all about strategy, and you think with a couple of balls thrown that you know what's going to happen, and it all changes very quickly.
So very quickly indeed. The flag of Uganda, P. Soroma, the athlete with a quick signature. She not only competed in athletics, but a sprinter who's made a name for herself, Ukraine.
Now I see what's going on here with these beautiful shining discs. In the opening ceremony, we were being encouraged to spread the lights. It was all about the little wandering plane that was learning to fly, but it was all about sparking a light. We'll see the Olympic flame go out tonight, but the fire will still be burning in our hearts, and we still want to spread the light. So I think that's what's going on with this cannon.
The flags of so many nations making their way in now in relatively quick succession. Marching in with the flag of Australia, you saw for just a brief moment, is Ellie Cole, 17-time Paralympic Games medalist. She bows out as Australia's most successful Paralympian. There is the flag, waved proudly by Ellie Cole. She'll make her way round to...
Significantly quicker than it was for the opening ceremony.
The Dutch flag being waved by one of the great swimmers at the Paralympic Games as well. Man with vision impairment, Rogier Dorsman. World champion, European champion. He's now three-time Paralympic Games champion as he's guided into the venue. There is the flag of Australia just making its way via Ellie Cole initially. Taking turns at a disc.
It's going to be all aglow with lights. By the end, it's going to sparkle like the dazzling truck.
Mohammed Al-Mashaki, the athlete from Oman.
Oh, now this is skillful flag flying here. They really are coming in at a pace.
Yeah, there is some genuine talent on display. Cape Verde flag coming in at all sorts of angles here. I think one of the great stories of the Paralympic Games, though, was from Cape Verde with the marriage proposal on this very track. Special morning at the Olympic Stadium that was gifted to the world by a Cape Verde guide, Manuel Vaz de Vega, who proposed to the sprinter he's been running with for the longest time, Kula Pereira Semero. That heartwarming moment when he asked her to marry him at the finish line and she said yes.
And he is making the most of his moment in the sun here. That flag is actually getting the most airtime of all the flags in the stadium tonight. It's formed a bit of a backlog.
Yes. It does seem to be
Guyana.
a little bit of a backlog.
Guyana behind him, Kazakhstan, Qatar, Canada, Gabon. They all want to fly their flags too. He's have to surrender it up now. See Ghana popping their disc on the light cannon. Laser blaster.
A little bit of excitement, shall we say? Emmanuel Oku of Ghana, powerlifter. He finished 7th, I think it was, in the men's under 72 kilogram.
There we see the flag of Cyprus.
North Macedonia making its way in a moment. Kyrgyzstan has just gone into the venue. It's a tunnel that's been created by volunteers and dancers, performers and athletes gathering with mobile phones, trying to capture moments that they will cherish. Cuban flag brought in by the Queen of Speed, Omara Durant Elias. Another 3 gold medals. She's unbeaten in over a decade. Track athlete and a genuine superstar. Shona Charles bringing in the flag of Grenada, another one of the athletes.
Bright red of Kyrgyzstan, followed by the flag of Guatemala making its way up the runway, with Erika Violeta Esteban Viatorio. She carried the flag at the opening ceremony as well.
Croatian flag making its way to the venue. Ivan Mikulic. Silver medalist Mikulic. Kenyan flag on display as the flags continue to make their way into the venue. There's one of the representatives of Kuwait, Saudi Arabia. The flag is in. There is no athlete marching, a volunteer carrying the flag of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Flag of Zambia has just made its way in as well. Another one of the athletes in Monica Munga. An athlete in the women's 400-meter T13. These are some of the volunteers that have carried the flag. Well, that was some of the volunteers, but...
Well, this is Team GB with red, white and blue and gold down the sleeves. And I also feel I'm a bit like I'm in a pub quiz here, trying to work out which flag is which and keep it with my list.
Oh, some of them have gone a little out of order, it seems, but we do have Zambia having just made their way through Monica Munga. flying the flag, the athlete from one of the great southern African countries, incredibly hospitable nation.
I recognise the Syrian Arabic Republic. Right there.
Yeah, Mohammed, one of the shot-put and javelin stars in F57 classification. And the flag of Georgia just in front of it.
Yeah, that's a great flag as well.
And carried by another of the athletes, man who made the final of the men's long jump in David Kaftaradze. Sweden. Philip Jonsson, shooter.
I think that's cheating, isn't it, getting a lift? You have to refer to the rules of operation, or the...
Well, Philip Jonsson is a man who was a gold medalist at these games, somebody hitching a little bit of a ride.
I mean, that's wise, to be honest. If you can get a little lift, then why not take it?
This has been a massive lift, the entire Paralympic Games. Team France, how excited they will be. So many wonderful performances from the French athletes. These are the athletes who remain. Many have returned to France, and we will no doubt have an appearance by some of them. That is Mohammed.
They are all watching from Paris, ready to play their parts, some of them. So, yeah, that's Catherine de Bruyne of Switzerland. And we see the 15 flag, the purple, very much a part of the message going out by the We the 15 campaign. And you'll see it again later tonight, and you may see buildings and parts of your cities around the world with the purple light shining, and you may wonder what it is, but it's trying to shine a light on the fact that 15% of the world's population suffer from impairments or disabilities.
Flags coming in thick and fast now. There's Sri Lanka among them, Slovakia, Slovenia. Slovakia's flag carried by the incredible boccia star Michaela Balkova, who retained the Paris double with her partner.
Well, the Republic of Korea flag we saw there as well. We'll see that in a moment, but this beautiful flag of Somalia, the lovely pale blue with the white star in the middle. That's Mahid Abishir Omar. He's proudly got that affixed to his wheelchair to take it up the runway.
Cameras making their way through to some of the athletes, a few of the Mongolian athletes enjoying their time, while athletes continue to pour into the venue from Tanzania.
Bonsoir, France. Party's definitely started in the stadium tonight.
It certainly has. Tanzanian flag, we saw for just a moment there, carried by Sauda Saidi and Jopeka, the shot-put star. Well, the flag of People's Republic of China, Zhang Shuimi, member of Chinese women's wheelchair basketball team that won silver. They lost to Netherlands in the final. She makes her way in.
And right behind her should be Tunisia with Walid Katila.
Here we go. Here's Jopeka.
There we go. Is my job done? My job is done.
Yes, young shot putter out of Dar es Salaam. Yes, you mentioned Walid Katila. Gold in London, gold in Rio, double gold in Tokyo. Yes, Team Japan.
Everybody wants their tracksuit tops. They are very, very popular.
There has been some swapping going on.
There has been swapping, hasn't there?
moments to cherish. for so many of the athletes, Paralympic Games, and it's an experience, an unforgettable experience to be part of the closing ceremony of the Paralympic Games.
Flag of Germany.
Flag of Dominican Republic as well.
Central African Republic there, that was Veronica Ndakara. Nigeria.
Yeah, the Nigerian flag carried by Flora Ogunwa. She was gold medalist in the women's javelin F54. But just behind her was Ananias Shikongo, the very first Namibian to win an Olympic or Paralympic gold when he did so in Rio, silver medalist at these games. Oh, here is Patricio Lopez, the first Dominican Republic swimmer ever to make a final. Made the final of the 50-meter breaststroke. Mexico. I think of Mexico and I think of the great Arnulfo Castorena, a man who went on to win gold in the pool 21 years after he first won a gold medal in the pool in Sydney.
That's incredible.
It is. One of the all-time greats of paraswimming. The flag of Nepal making its way in. No athletes here. Team Costa Rica. So,
yes, some countries who had fewer athletes competing have actually already left Japan as part of the rules.
COVID protocols, yes.
COVID protocols, so their flag still very much a part of these games, and it will take its place alongside the rest. All being lined up down the centre of this glorious national stadium.
Flag of New Zealand and Norway and Bahrain all making their way in a quick succession. Some incredible stories that have come out of so many countries, including Norway, but I'm sure we'll chat more about the Norwegian success in New Zealand.
Absolutely.
Wow, stories. Lisa Adams, Dame Valerie Adams' sister, who claimed such great success. Sophie Pascoe, the most successful and decorated Paralympian out of New Zealand, taking a tally now to 11 golds, 6 silvers and a bronze with her 4-medal haul as she four-peated in the 200 IM.
Team GB have decided that they will join in with the constructed dancing, so and it's happening all around the arena. All the athletes are joining in. The French are coming over as the flags continue to come.
So interchanging between some of the athletes who've made their way to the venues, some of the flag bearers who have the honour of hosting the magnetic mirrors.
And we have a skyline that will be Tokyo related.
Just hinting,
don't worry.
Just hinting.
Don't worry, it will make sense, slightly. All you know, there's a big party coming.
Philippines flag is carried by a volunteer. No athletes have remained. Had to make their way back to Philippines. Faroe Islands.
Havard Vatnahama. And then there's the flag of Brazil.
Daniel Diaz, one of the all-time greats. Now, the president of the International Paralympic Committee is of Brazil, but Daniel Diaz, 27 medals in his incredible career. A man who's won amongst those 27, 14 golds in the pool. The man is an icon and such an incredible role model and ambassador, the most successful male Paralympic swimmer of all time with a number of medals that he has won.
Just watching the flag of Bhutan making its way into the center of the arena.
Jarkko Mili of Finland getting in on the act, one of the shooting stars of Finland.
So much colour in the stadium and so much energy. I think everybody will sleep for a week once the party stops.
Yeah. I think there are going to be a few tired bodies. Flag of Venezuela. Isbeli Marina Vera Andrade. Another one of the athletic stars. Bear in mind, athletics was among the final. There we go. From the Faroe Islands. But Isbeli Marina Vera Andrade was incredibly successful for Venezuela. She was a double gold medalist in the sprints and T47 classification. The Peruvian flag. Pilar Juaregui is the athlete who brings the flag into the venue. Yes, indeed, one of the sports that is new to the Paralympic schedule.
So I think it's fair to say that before these games started, she was a para-athlete, and now she's a full Paralympian.
Incredible, incredible how that has changed, and it is so significant to the athletes. As the Belgian flag is waving proudly.
I think there was 1 gold, 1 silver for Peter Jean in the athletics.
Flag of Portugal. And I was just noticing the flag of Botswana. Great to see Edwin Masuche, a man from Muchudi, carrying the flag in for Botswana, the men's 400-meter star. Dignitaries getting involved in a little of the sporting spirit themselves.
That's really good to see. This emotion thing is infectious, you know. I don't think there's anybody in this stadium who's not tapping a toe or clapping their hands or dancing. Malawi. That must be Kanole Banda.
Yeah.
Getting down to the groove in the stadium.
Another one of the track and field stars. She's a middle distance athlete. Flag of Malaysia, the Tigers. Carried in by a man who's a gold medalist in the para badminton as well, in Liekho Chair. Flags are nearing the end of this procession. It will end with the flag of Japan. There is the flag of Mexico. Flag that tells such a grand story. Gold in the para taekwondo for Juan Diego Garcia. He carries the flag. Just in behind, Luzanne Kutsia, silver and bronze medalist at Tokyo 2020. There she is, briefly, the South African flag bearer. So many incredible performances. I think Ntando Mahlangu and Anrene Veras won hearts for their performances, most notably Ntando Mahlangu with that remarkable double gold performance.
A medal moment.
There is Ms. Banda, Tondela Banda of Malawi. There's Luzanne Kutsia.
That's the flag of Hong Kong, China there. Man Kai Chu. So
we're getting closer and closer to the flag of Japan making its way in. And once the flag has been handed to a volunteer, visually impaired South African athlete, Luzanne Kutsia.
So South Africa 139 on the list of 161.
Not in the medal standings, we must clarify. thought I'd add that for...
You did. I thought that was a little bit... Hang on. Let's just check.
Indeed.
In athletes parade order.
The athletes parade, flag of Jordan coming in as well. The powerlifter Abdel Karim Khattab, who won an incredible gold in the men's under 88 kilogram. He lifted 231 kilograms. The flag of Latvia, one of the oldest in the world. Mongolia, represented by Encerramento.
That's the flag of Libya.
And right behind, the flag of Liberia. Oh, there's a popular figure. That is Matt Scott. Fresh from helping the United States to victory over Japan in the men's gold medal match of the wheelchair basketball.
Well, that must mean only 2 more to make it that far.
And here it is, the flags in succession. Ironically,
Well,
France
no.
and Japan.
No, it's in order because the US will be holding
2028, LA, that's right.
2024 is...
France,
And then we
Paris.
are currently in, well, 2021, but it is Tokyo 2020, so the order is kind of reversed. Oh, and the tension's kind of building here. The music's building us all up.
So the final pieces nearly in the proverbial puzzle here. Oh, Matt Scott, he's just leaving a little bit of a gap here. Soaking it in. He's only just come off court.
That's true. It's a very good point.
There he comes up toward the landmark, shall we call it, of the Japanese skyline. Here is the Japanese athlete Iwabuchi Koyo. And what a day to walk in, Crown Prince, watching on after you've performed so incredibly.
The table tennis competition is mind-blowing.
It has been. One of the table tennis stars, reigning Asian Para Games champion as well. This is a nation that has had so much success. The flags digitally being paraded around in the second tier of this remarkable venue. And just before this moment, I saw Ditito Kutlele, women's discus F64 finalist of Lesotho, right near the end of the entrance of the flags. And there they are.
So we're almost ready for our party to continue. It's going to be a city where differences shine, which the mirrored light cannon, I think that's what it is, will play its part. But the world's already beginning to change, and the skyline, the cityscape we see before us is already beginning to be transformed by the Paralympic effect.
So, the sky tree has been decorated.
There's the Rainbow Bridge in the center.
the athletes of the Tokyo 2020 Paralympic Games.
東京2020パラリンピック参加アスリートの皆さんです。
So a big thank you to the athletes for the part they've played in this Paralympic Games.
Ladies and gentlemen, the ceremony for I'm Possible Award.
皆様、I'm Possible アワードの授与式です。
So the I'm Possible education program is in recognition of schools that have found a way to be more inclusive. And we have schools that will be presented with the awards, 2 from Japan and 1 from overseas, that have fully utilised the IPC's I'm Possible education program.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. 皆様、こんばんは。My name is Maxwell Powers. I'm a voice actor here in Tokyo, and it is my honor to be here as your MC for the I'm Possible Award. I'm Possible アワードの司会進行を務めさせていただきます声優のマクスウェル・パワーズです。With me is Paralympic gold medalist Mickey Matheson, who played a key role in the development of I'm Possible. 本日、私とご一緒してくださるのは、パラリンピック金メダリストであり、I'm Possible の開発に重要な役割を果たされたマセソン・ミキさんです。
Good evening, everyone. My name is Mickey Matheson. Thank you for joining us today. 皆さんこんばんは。マセソン・ミキです。本日はどうぞよろしくお願いいたします。Now, please allow us to tell you about the I'm Possible Award. I'm Possible Award についてご紹介させていただきます。
The I'm Possible Award was established by the International Paralympic Committee and supported by the Nippon Foundation Paralympic Support Center.
この賞は国際パラリンピック委員会が設立し、日本財団パラリンピックサポートセンターが支援を行っています。
The award honors schools and Paralympians that have contributed to a more inclusive world through the Paralympic movement.
I'm Possible Award はパラリンピックムーブメントを通してインクルーシブな世界の実現に多大な功績を収められた学校とパラリンピアンに贈呈される賞です。
And now, please watch this short video. こちらの映像をご覧ください。
Launched in 2017, I'm Possible is the International Paralympic Committee's global education program. More than 35 countries currently deliver the program in schools, spreading the vision and the values of the Paralympic movement to hundreds of thousands of young people around the world.
Right now, I know that people with disabilities can do the activities like playing football and other sports.
Paralympians inspire young people through their outstanding achievements on and off the field of play. As role models and agents for change, they can advance greater representation for the world's 1 billion persons with disabilities.
すごいんだよっていうなんか誰でもそういうすごいことがあるから頑張ってねみたいなそういうメッセージが来た。
I'm Possible contributes towards several sustainable development goals, in particular, Goal 4, quality education. It also helps to progress the United Nations Convention on the Right of Persons with Disabilities.
なんかそういった意味ではなんか自分の常識ってものをなんかいい意味で壊してくれたというか、人間の可能性っていうのはこんな広がるんだっていうような印象を受けました。
To celebrate the success of the program, the International Paralympic Committee is delighted to announce the first 5 recipients of the I'm Possible Award at the closing ceremony of the Tokyo 2020 Paralympic Games. I'm Possible. Learn, engage, include.
Please welcome the I'm Possible Award recipients, representatives, and award presenters. 皆様、I'm Possible Award の受賞者の代理、およびプレゼンターの方々です。Presenting the awards.
アワードのプレゼンターは
Dwayne Kale, Vice President of the International Paralympic Committee.
国際パラリンピック委員会ドゥエイン・ケール副会長、
山脇康、Chairperson of the Nippon Foundation Paralympic Support Center.
日本財団パラリンピックサポートセンター山脇康会長、
Rita Van Dria, Chairperson of the Agitos Foundation Executive Committee.
アギトス財団執行委員会リタ・ファンドリエル会長のお三方です。
The awards will be presented to 1 Best Host Country School, 1 Best Overseas School, and 1 Excellence Host Country School, which had outstanding success in addressing challenges in local communities through the I'm Possible program.
アワードは最優秀賞として開催国である日本と海外の学校に各1校ずつ、そして開催国特別賞1校に贈られます。特別賞は I'm Possible プログラムを用いて地域の課題解決に功績を収めた学校に贈られます。
And now, the Tokyo 2020 Paralympic Games I'm Possible Award for Best Host Country School.
東京2020パラリンピック競技大会 I'm Possible アワードの開催国最優秀賞は
Kisarazu Municipal Kiyomidai Elementary School from Chiba, Japan.
木更津市立清見台小学校。
The award for Best Overseas School.
海外最優秀賞は
Lilongwe LEA School from Malawi.
マラウイリロングウェ LEA 小学校。
The award for Excellence Host Country School.
開催国特別賞は
Chiba Prefectural Togane Special Needs Education School from Chiba, Japan.
千葉県立東金特別支援学校の皆様に授与されます。
The best overseas school is represented by the Chef de Mission of the Malawi Paralympic Committee. Please give them a round of applause. 皆様、受賞者に大きな拍手をお送りください。Next, the Paralympian I'm Possible Award goes to
パラリンピアン賞の受賞は
Lasam Katongo from Zambia.
ザンビアのラサーム・カトンゴ選手。
Katongo is a 2-time Paralympian competing in athletics, T12 and T13.
カトンゴ選手は 陸上 T12、T13 で2度パラリンピックに出場されました。
As a secondary school teacher, he has used I'm Possible to share his passion for parasport, teach his students the values of the Paralympic movement, and help to make his country more inclusive.
中学校の教師として I'm Possible プログラムを使い、パラスポーツへの情熱を伝え、生徒たちにパラリンピックムーブメントの価値を教え、自国がよりインクルーシブになるようご尽力されました。
The next Paralympian I'm Possible Award goes to
続いてのパラリンピアン賞の受賞は
Katarzyna Rogovic from Poland.
ポーランドのカタジーナ・ロゲビエチ選手です。
Rogovic is a 3-time Paralympian and 2-time Paralympic gold medalist in standing cross-country skiing.
ロゲビエチ選手はクロスカントリースキーでパラリンピックに3度出場し、2度金メダルを獲得されました。
As a former member of the IPC Athletes Council and the IPC Anti-Doping Committee, she is an advocate for inclusion as well as clean and fair play in sport.
IPC アスリート委員会および IPC アンチドーピング委員会の元メンバーとしてインクルージョンおよびクリーンでフェアなスポーツを提唱されています。
She motivates others to achieve their lifetime goals both in and outside of sport.
彼女の活躍により周囲の方々がスポーツに限らず人生の目的を達成しています。
On behalf of Katongo and Rogovic, their National Paralympic Committee presidents will accept the award.
本日はカトンゴ選ロゲビエジ選手に代わりましてお二人の出身国のパラリンピック委員会会長に賞を受け取っていただきます。
Congratulations once again to the I'm Possible Award winners for their outstanding efforts towards driving inclusion. インクルージョン推進に多大な努力を重ねておられる I'm Possible アワード受賞者の皆様に感謝の意を表し盛大な拍手をお願いいたします。
For me to be nominated to receive this award, it means a lot. I'll make sure I go all the corner of our country to encourage young ones to participate in this.
Ndichimunezodzaza tsaya komanso anawo ndiwosangalala kwambiri kuti alitenga dziko la Malawi kulika pamapo.
Thank you for letting me being part of this project, letting me for being part of Paralympic movement.
So we're moving on to another ceremonial part.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the newly elected members of the International Paralympic Committee Athletes Council.
皆様、国際パラリンピック委員会アスリート委員会の新任役員をお迎えください。
So the athletes of the IPC Athletes Council have been voted in, and we have quite a list of new representatives coming onto the council.
Well, yes, Daniel Dias is leading the way, the great Brazilian, the most successful male Paralympic swimmer of all time, with those 27 medals, including 14 gold. He picked up 3 bronzes at Tokyo 2020. Alongside him is Somara Durand-Elias, the athlete unbeaten in major championships for the past decade with 11 world championship crowns.
Daniel Dias.
And another 3 golds at Tokyo 2020. There is Daniel Dias.
Cuba, Para-athletics, Omara Durand-Elias.
キューバ、パラ陸上競技、オマラ・ドゥランド・エリアスさん。
She now has 8 Paralympic Games gold
Islamic
medals
Republic of Iran.
and undefeated.
Para-archery, Zahara Nemati.
イラン・イスラム共和国、パラアーチェリー、ザハラ・ネマティさん。
Zahra Nemati has represented her country at the Olympic Games and won her 3rd consecutive Paralympic Games gold here.
オランダ、車椅子バスケットボール、ユツク・ビッセルさん。
Jitske Visser of Netherlands, who led the European and World Champions to an historic gold at her 4th Paralympic Games.
Italy, Parathletics, Martina Caironi, and Japan, Paraswimming, Suzuki Takayuki.
そして今夜出席できないあと2人の役員はイタリアパラ陸上競技マルティナ・カイロニさんと日本パラ水泳鈴木孝之さんです。
Also voted on Martina Caironi of Italy, a silver medalist in the long jump and the sprints.
新任役員の皆様おめでとうございます。
And Takayuki Suzuki, the swimmer who delivered Japan's first gold medal of Tokyo 2020, winning 5 in total at the age of 34.
All athletes now thank all volunteers, representing the field casts and city casts, for their invaluable contribution to the Games.
大会の運営に貴重な貢献をしてくれたすべてのボランティアの皆さん、フィールドキャストとシティキャストの皆さんにアスリート全員から感謝の意を表します。
4 field cast members, 2 city cast members, all the volunteers at these Paralympic Games recognised on behalf of all the volunteers by the new representatives on the Athletes' Council.
So mighty mascot with the flowers, so similar to what we've seen on the medal podiums, but the ones on the medal podiums came in the colour of the medal you'd won. Pink has been the colour of the Paralympic Games. It's not used on any flag, so it has no national bias attached to it.
Tokyo 2020 Paralympic Games.
東京2020パラリンピック大会のボランティアの皆さんに大きな拍手をお願いいたします。
Where would we be without the volunteers?
Their support and understanding has been truly invaluable to the success of these games.
So our next section is going to celebrate difference, where differences exist as a harmonious and colourful whole. unicycling butterflies. It has to be a closing ceremony. We can hear some music now. It's worth saying, a lot of these instruments you're going to hear are very special. Hata Yuto, he's playing a new type of instrument. It's a combination of a prosthetic arm and a musical instrument. It's got features that reduce the strain on the user. It's been designed to be really lightweight and allowing those even with limb deficiencies to perform with ease. This is Sakai Hibiki. He's 14 years old. Took up the drums at 4. So the 2 wheelchairs you see there, Ozawa Ayako's in one of those. It's a power assist wheelchair fitted with flat percussion instruments on the side, which can be used to play this music. This is Teruhiko. So this guitar being played one-handed. Yusuke. He speaks Japanese and Japanese Sign Language. And he's playing a drum that can be played by clapping. It's really good for people with a weak grip, but it means you can join in as a drummer. And everybody's joining in with El Tempo, the group here, being conducted by sign language.
So we've gone from costumes that are tailored suits made out of shiny holographic fabric fitted to the various band members to unique outfits and a really colourful representation of various landmarks and also the abundant life forms on Earth.
And everyone's different.
Story of how differences can come together and ultimately result in a harmonious cacophony, as it were.
Fabulous breakdancing coming onto the Olympic schedule in Paris 2024. And many of our participants in this glorious closing ceremony have come through an audition process.
Yes, over 5,500 applicants, only 89 successful applicants.
And many of them with impairments. That's the whole point of auditioning, to try and get as many performers in who know what it's all about.
And featuring people who can play musical instruments and those who can't play musical instruments. But it's a message of inclusion and diversity.
Wow. Well, where do we go from there?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the President of the International Paralympic Committee, Andrew Parsons, the Governor of Tokyo, Koike Yuriko, and the Mayor of Paris, Anne Hidalgo.
国際パラリンピック委員会アンドリュー・パーソンズ会長、小池百合子東京都知事、アンヌ・イダルゴパリ市長のご登壇です。
Tokyo 2020 Paralympic Games coming to a close, but their spirit will be carried on and into the 2024 Games.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the Paralympic anthem.
パラリンピック賛歌の演奏です。可能な方はご起立ください。
Paralympic anthem.
ご着席ください。
As the Paralympic flag was lowered by representatives of the self-defense forces. Now for the flag handover.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Paralympic flag handover ceremony.
パラリンピック旗授受。
The Governor of Tokyo will hand the Paralympic flag to the President of the International Paralympic Committee, who will then entrust the flag to the Mayor of Paris, host city of the next Paralympic Games.
まずはじめに東京都知事より国際パラリンピック委員会会長へパラリンピック旗が渡されます。そして次回開催都市パリ市長へ渡されます。
Tokyo Governor Koike Yuriko will hand over the flag to International Paralympic Committee President Andrew Parsons, who will then hand the flag to the Mayor of Paris, Anne Hidalgo.
It's been flying proudly in Tokyo for 5 years. A little longer than expected, which will make the time it flies in Paris a little shorter, but that just means we're a little closer to another Paralympic Games. The red, blue and green of the Agitos.
The poignant and symbolic highlight of the closing ceremonies.
Winds of change are blowing through the stadium tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of France.
フランス国歌の演奏です。可能な方はご起立ください。
Passionate sign singing of the Marseillaise by Betty Mutumalaya from Paris. hypnotic performance created by Sedek Waf, the music by Woodkid. 128 performance there, 20 of whom have some kind of impairment. That's 15% representing We the 15. And we are live in Paris.
And on stage, some of these successful athletes.
So this is the artist Pone. He's written the music that we're about to hear using just the movement of his eyes. He developed ALS in 2015, motor neurone disease as some know it, and uses eye control software to create music.
Faites du bruit.
Bravo les athlètes, merci à tous, merci Pod, bravo à tous.
Merci Tony, merci à tous.
Arigato gozaimasu Tokyo. Rendez-vous à Paris en 2024. À bientôt.
Great Tony Estanguet on stage with Ronde, three-time Olympic champion. He is the president of Paris 2024.
I think the Eiffel Tower looks pretty good like that.
With a prosthetic limb.
Absolutely fabulous.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Hashimoto Seiko,
President of the Tokyo Organizing Committee of the Olympic and Paralympic Games, and Andrew Parsons, President of the International Paralympic Committee.
皆様、公益財団法人東京オリンピック・パラリンピック競技大会組織委員会橋本聖子会長、そして国際パラリンピック委員会アンドリュー・パーソンズ会長をお迎えください。
Now an address by President Hashimoto, President of the Tokyo Organizing Committee of the Olympic and Paralympic Games, Hashimoto Seiko.
秋篠宮 格子殿下のご臨席を仰ぎ、ここに東京
In the presence of His Imperial Highness Crown Prince Akishino, I'm pleased to address you on the occasion of the closing of the Tokyo 2020 Paralympic Games. Our lengthy journey is reaching its end. The Tokyo 2020 Paralympic Games are in its final stage. And it certainly has been wonderful to see each venue filled with smiles. Each of those smiling medalists presented with a bouquet of flowers grown in areas most affected by the great East Japan earthquake. Those staying in the Paralympic village enjoyed Japanese cuisine, and that food was made with ingredients from those same areas. I believe it was the indomitable spirit of all those who've overcome difficulty that shone so brightly on this stage, and we will use this brilliance to illuminate the road ahead. To all volunteers, the staff of Tokyo 2020, and to everyone else in Japan who supported these games, I want to say 8 years ago, we promised the world omotenashi hospitality. I'm confident that each athlete felt that spirit here. It's thanks to your respect for each other and your unity of spirit, even in the face of such difficult circumstances, that we were able to make these games such a success. I am so proud of this wonderful team. Thank you very much. To all Paralympians, I would like to say we were overwhelmed by your astonishing performances. We saw your conviction, your determination, your unending dedication as you refused to set yourselves limits. The long and arduous roads you've traveled shook us all to the core. Your impact as Paralympians has a message for all of us. You've inspired so many of us to begin our own journeys, new journeys. You've given us insight, the power to look at ourselves, and through introspection, shape our own future. Change starts with awareness. We are determined to build a diverse and inclusive future where people recognize and support one another's differences, free from discrimination. We now move forward with the vow that this commitment will be a catalyst for social change. Today the curtain falls on the Olympic and Paralympic Games of Tokyo 2020. I want to thank the International Olympic Committee, the International Paralympic Committee, the government of Japan, the Tokyo Metropolitan Government, and everybody involved in these games. Thank you very much. I am delighted we hosted the Olympic and Paralympic Games, and I believe in the value they bring. In 2024, athletes and sports lovers all over the world will be united once again. We send the city of Paris our sincerest good wishes for successful games. See you soon. We will meet you again soon.
Your Imperial Highness, the Crown Prince, athletes, sport fans across the globe, konbanwa! After 8 remarkable years, I cannot believe our time is almost done. What a journey! What a sport! What a games! What more can I say then? Arigato, Tokyo! Together, against the odds, we did it. The Tokyo 2020 Paralympic Games have not just been historic, they have been fantastic. In 12 magical days, athletes gave the world confidence, happiness, and hope. Athletes broke records, athletes warmed hearts, athletes opened minds. Importantly, athletes changed lives. To the people of Japan, you made this possible. You warmly welcomed us and enabled athletes to excel. These games help fulfill the dreams of many here in Tokyo. They also fuel the ambitions of many more watching at home. The Paralympic movement has a message to you. Tokyo ga daisuku desu. We love you, Tokyo. Nihon ga daisuku you. We love you, Japan. Immense gratitude to all the people that delivered these games. Domo arigato, Tokyo 2020. Thank you to the team IPC. Merci beaucoup to the IOC. Prime Minister Suga, Governor Koike, President Hashimoto, the Paralympic movement will forever be thankful to your commitment and strength. To the national Paralympic committees, international federations, officials and classifiers, with your wonderful work, we achieve record athlete participation and record medal wins. Thank you, OBS, OIS, the world's media and commercial partners for telling the stories of these games. Volunteers, you are the pride of your people. Your enthusiasm, omotenashi, brought energy and passion each day. Arigato, all the volunteers. In Japan, there is a beautiful ancient philosophy called kintsugi. It means to embrace the imperfections we all have, to not hide them away, but to celebrate them. During our carnival of sport, we have celebrated difference, exhibited the best of humanity, and shown unity in diversity. However, our journey cannot end here. Tonight, see this not like a closing ceremony, but an opening to a bright and inclusive future. We are at a crucial crossroads for our planet. No mask can cover its flaws. As we build back better, 15% of Earth's population cannot be left behind. We must see beyond the athletes that have performed so well here and see the 1.2 billion persons with disabilities. They can and they want to be active citizens in an inclusive world. This was Sir Ludwig Guttmann, our founder's wish. Through We the 15, we want to build on Guttmann's legacy. We want to provide a global movement, publicly campaigning for visibility, accessibility, and opportunity. As a wise athlete said so perfectly this week, people with disabilities should not have to do exceptional things to be accepted. Sport has opened the door. Now it's time for us all to play our part to break down the barriers that keep us apart. Finally, and I don't want to do this, but the time has come for me to declare the Tokyo 2020 Paralympic Games closed. I call upon Paralympic athletes all over the world to meet again in Paris, France, in 3 years' time, where once again you will inspire and excite the world with your sporting excellence. Arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you very much. Muito obrigado.
Today, we turn our attention away from sport to the future.
Away from athletes to the global population of persons with disabilities.
Over 1 billion people, 15% of the world.
We the 15 is a global movement for change that says persons with disabilities must be seen, heard, active, and included.
A movement to make the world fairer, more just, and more equitable.
Before the Paralympic flame is extinguished,
it will pass its light to a new movement.
The world's biggest organizations are converging to champion We the 15.
To create policy, to build momentum.
To bring about a day when no one is held back from achievement.
Derided or excluded.
A day when we'll look at people different from ourselves and see only our shared humanity.
Because when that day comes,
we will look back on this moment and say,
when the floodlights went out
and the cameras stopped rolling.
That's when the change began.
Powerful message. We the 15, and it begins here in Tokyo 2020. This is the saddest part of the Tokyo 2020 Games, any Paralympic Games.
I see trees of green, red roses stir, I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? Their little saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow to learn much more than I ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Utter any sounds, but found a way by applying a belt to his abdomen, made a miraculous comeback, returning to the stage just 3 years later.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbows, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They really saying, I love you.
The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're saying, I love you. I can't wait to fly. I watch them go. How much more than I ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I can't wait to fly. I watch them go. How much more than I ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yeah, I think to myself, what a wonderful
A powerful performance at the end of this Paralympic Games closing ceremony. So there's just one piece of business left.
And we turn our attention to the flame. the representation of Mount Fuji, so ingrained in Japanese culture, Fuji-san. Messages of arigato, thank you, on the big screens of the venue with the fireworks. See you in Paris 2024. As the light went out inside the representation of the sun that was rising above the great and sacred mountain that is Fuji-san.
Ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoyed the Tokyo 2020 Games.
A rather emotional
the
closing ceremony.
ends here.
It's managed
But
to
it's
strike
not a goodbye.
all
See
the
you in
nerves,
Paris.
everything that I thought had been tested through the emotion of this Paralympic Games, the extraordinary efforts put in by everybody to make it such a memorable occasion, and such a simple way to finish it with a song that everybody knows and everybody can feel the power of the words, and it's hit home.
It was an absolutely electrifying games built on that concept of omotenashi, which is basically an honest, genuine Japanese traditional service, no hidden agendas, no motives behind it. It's so appropriate that we've had such a successful games. It really has been incredibly successful. It is historic, and it is arguably the greatest ever hosting of a games. What a triumph for the organisers before the games had even begun, and it'll surely be recognised as such for generations. But these individuals have recorded so many massive achievements and majestic moments. It's a reflection of what can happen when people are given opportunities, and we have been reminded that nobody can do everything, and that's why we have others.
Sky tree of Tokyo saying thank you to the world, but it's the world that must thank Tokyo 2020 for a performance of joy and love and of what is truly possible when people say it can't be done. We say goodbye from Tokyo 2020 and we head to Paris